the body, the mind of growth, and plus the vision to grow. Second is our parents for giving us the life and always encouraging us. Third is definitely PIM and all the people over here. I'm really grateful and thankful, and I visualize greater things. I'm actually doing the best, and yeah. So the others are all something that relates to me, but from next time I will be more prepared.
No worries. Every time the new people has to speak this, grateful message. सबको फिर आदत हो जाएगी. Nice. Thank you so much, Sana. Wonderful. So I think because all of our are not new except Nilesh. So Nilesh, hi everyone. This is Kiran here. I work in Bangalore, and Bharat, Supra, I, and Karthik, Sana, a lot of other folks which who has contributed to the book club to get started. It's been almost a year when we started this book club, and Peak Impact Mentorship is our parent umbrella, which is where we got started with, and Vijay is the founder of Peak Impact Mentorship. So Karthik, I'll quickly ask you to play a short 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes video, and then for people who are joining, so I have the topic list with me. You will get around 2 to 2.5 minutes, I think 2 minutes 45 seconds, until you see a timer message which will give you a signal that your time is getting over. So then you can maybe summarize and then take your talk to the next week as well. And the books which you're currently following as a theme are 4 to 5 books. I'm sure everyone is aware of it, but yeah, if you're not aware, do get in touch with us. You get the details out of it. So we'll get started, Karthik.
Yeah, Kiran. Kiran, can you give me the share permission?
Yeah.
I just share one of the PM's highlights, which Kiran was talking about.
Let me tell you, there's no success which is worth at the price of your family relationship. There's no success worth messing up your family, messing up your relationship, messing up your health. I can assure you, there is no success. Whichever success you're having, it is not worth messing up at all. In fact, in your notes, I can tell you, this is the way John Maxwell always says. If I can't lead myself, in your notes, check it out. If I can't lead myself, others won't follow me. The first thing. That's why you have to lead yourself. If I can't lead myself, others won't follow me. Second line, if I can't lead myself, others won't respect me. Everything is around you, okay? If you can't lead yourself. If I can't lead myself, others won't partner with me. That's how it works for you. And then 5 practices which you can do, okay? 5 practices to do all these things. So I've given you 7, control your emotion, control your priorities, manage your priorities, then I told manage your time. Once you do all these things, then manage your energy. Like this, I gave you 7 things. And the last thing which I tell, how do you manage all these things? Make better decisions. And the example of gym I already gave you. Decisions, if you make, don't have to make 100 decisions. I only made 2-3 decisions of my life. Number 1 decision, I have to make sure that my family is financially secure. 1 decision I took. What is security for me? Whether I am there or not, 1.5 lakh rupees should be taken care for my family, so that my responsibility as a husband, as a father is taken care. That 1 decision I took, for that I worked for 10 years to make it happen. By the way, it didn't happen overnight. So what do you do? First thing first. If you want to manage your better decisions, making better decisions. So first in your line, notes, check it out. Making better decisions. In that, I'll give you 3 things to do. First, create systems. You cannot do alone. A lot of people try to do something and they want to do alone. It doesn't work. That's why I told you, invest in coaches. Somebody who can hold you accountable. Third point. So second one I told is invest in a coach. Third, give yourself 2 years to identify an area of interest. This is again, I tell you, very interesting thing. Area of interest you will not come to know just like that. Third thing I tell you, so find out your area of interest. For that, what you do? I recommend highly that do your disc analysis that will give you your personality, and that personality can save you a lot of time. Second thing, out of 5, second thing is think long term. What is long term? Very simple. It will take you 10 years, and I repeat again, it will take you 10 years to create any worthwhile success.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karthik, for playing this wonderful video. So we'll get started. Okay. All right. So Sashi, can you hear me? Are you online?
Yes, bro.
Okay, all right. So you'll get start. Will you start session first?
Kiran will go after some speakers.
Okay, then we'll go with Mohini. Mohini, I'll spotlight you.
Yeah. Hi everyone. So this is Mohini, and today's topic is very interesting. So this is, I'll just give an example. So is there anyone who has never ever given an excuse, for work or for some event, some family function which you didn't want to attend? So I think no one. Everyone has given some or the other excuses here and there. But initially, when we start giving excuses, we just feel that it's a small lie which we have told. But slowly and gradually, as we keep on saying it, we keep on repeating it becomes our behavior. So it's kind of so the term which we are talking about here is excusitis. So it's kind of a disease, we will say it's kind of a failure disease which happens when we try to hide our failures, when we try to run away from our poor performance. We just give some or the other excuses, like suppose if you have not got a promotion, so if somebody is asking you, so you'll just start giving excuses that maybe because my manager is a little biased towards some other person, or maybe because I had some or the other health issue or something like that. So that is the thing which we're going to talk about. And today's topic, like we have author has classified this excusitis into multiple parts. So today we are going to talk about health excusitis. So like as I mentioned, right, so when we want to get some work done and we are not into it completely, or if we are not very much interested into it, so we start giving excuses like I'm not feeling good, or I'm not keeping well, or I'm not very I'm having some headache or something like that. We'll just give an excuse and we'll bunk from it. So that is the health excusitis. So what are the 4 steps which we need to take in order to get vaccinated out of this disease? So for COVID, it's 2, but for health excusitis, it is 4 doses we need to take. So the number 1 dose which we need to take is we need to stop talking about our disease is what is important. So I'll give you an example, like 2 of my friends. So one of my friends, she got dengue initially, and later one other friend also got dengue. So the girl, the friend who got first the dengue, so she used to talk about it a lot. Like whenever we used to go and visit her, she used to be like, I'm feeling very low today, my platelet count is decreasing, and doctor is saying this and that. Every time whenever we go and visit her, she'll be talking more about her disease rather than talking about some happy thoughts or sharing some moments or asking about us how we are doing. So she was always indulged into her disease. Whereas the other guy who was, he was staying with us, but then later he went on to his family. So he used to talk like, yeah, I'm enjoying my time at home. My parents are taking so much care of me. I'm so grateful that I came back to home. And then that guy recovered in like almost 7 days. Whereas this lady, she was still suffering like for almost a month, I would say. And even when she used to come to office, she used to be like, I'm feeling so tired when I'm walking from bus stand to office and things like that. So stop talking about it. I think when you keep saying, repeating those problems, I think your body works, your subconscious mind works in that direction, and it starts reducing your health. So stop talking about it. That's the first step. And also along with that, I would like to mention that whenever somebody, and if you have observed, like whenever you ask somebody that how are you doing, so the first thing they'll start talking it is about their health, that yeah, I'm doing fine. Yeah, no, they'll be talking about some health issues which they are going through. So it's something which is very easy to talk, but we need to be aware that we should avoid talking about it, because people are you can get sympathy from them, but you cannot earn their respect or their loyalty because of your health conditions. So stop talking about it. Second thing is that you need to stop worrying about it. So the more you worry about it, the more anxious you will become. So if I have got a cut in my hand, so it's bleeding, so I'll just put a band-aid and I'll be like, okay, it will get recovered. Now if I start getting worried about it, oh, maybe I'll have to take an injection. What if I it keeps bleeding the whole night, and things like that. So if you keep worrying about it, it's definitely going to increase. Like even COVID, I've seen so many people getting worried, like because just they have got cold and they'll start thinking that, oh, I've got cold. So try avoiding such worrying thing. So stop worrying about it. Next thing is like how Sahana started today, right? Be grateful about the health you have. So I have a very good example. I'll just hope that I don't start weeping about it. So when I was in my second year, so I was working for an organization called MAD. It's Make a Difference. So there we had their birthday. So it's like every year, whenever it's their birthday week, they'll do some or the other, good things. So like for an example, we used to go out of a mall and say, okay, free hugs, and we'll just give them smile and hug people. And some days we'll just go and we'll distribute food around the homeless people, up to the homeless people. And one day we went to a cancer center, and it was for small kids. So we went there, we took some balloons, cake and things like that, and we started just dancing. We had some music and things like that. So when we were doing that, I just went inside a ward and to check like all kids are there or not outside. So when I went inside, I just saw a 2-year-old a kid, and his parents were around him. They were all just talking, and they were just chilling there. So I just asked them, okay, that can I take him also? Then they were like, hey, no, I think he's not able to, he'll not be able to run and do stuff, so let him be there. I was like, okay, fine, let him be there. Then I just inquired that what is the problem, what is happening with him. So she mentioned that he's suffering from cancer, and he, like, whatever disease he's having is not curable. So he'll be there with us like for 2 to 3 months. So that's what we are spending time with him, and like as much as possible. So when I came out of it, I was like literally shattered. I was like, we have like such small issues and we start cribbing about it. But these people, they have such a big issue that they're going to lose their child, but they're still there with that happy face. Like they're able to control that emotion that they have with that smile. So that inspired me a lot, and that taught me that you need to be grateful for whatever you have, your health, your loved ones who are there around you. So be grateful. I think that's the third step. And fourth and the last step is that you need to remind yourself often that it's better to be wear out rather than rust out. So put yourself, take care of yourselves, take care of your body, and do as much as possible, because it's not the number of years you have left, it's you have lived. It's the life you have lived in those years is what that matters. So I would say that keep making memories and keep living. Thank you.
Superb, Mohini. Really, the story really touched my heart, and definitely, we actually, our issues are nothing when we really start being grateful and see there are a lot of other things happening in the world. People are still fighting for it. So thank you so much for such an amazing story, Mohini. And
Thank you.
great. We'll move to the next speaker then. Awesome. Shraddha, you'll go next. Shraddha?
Hi. Yes, I can.
Great.
Hello, everyone. So, out of the many good things written on the book, The Magic of Thinking Big, I'm trying to cover one topic today, and that is look important. So, before moving any further, I would like to ask you all a question. You can write the answer in your chat box. Does your appearance really make a difference in your success? I mean, is it important, or does it play a role in you living your dream, or getting a promotion, or making your dreams come true? So, well, to get the answer of these questions, I have something read somewhere, so I have written it, and it says, act as if you already have what you want. They say, dress for the job you want and not for the job that you have. Sure, it's unfair, but the fact is people judge others on the basis of their appearance. It is because maybe our appearance talk. And when our appearance talk, why not make it say something positive about ourselves? Like it really doesn't matter where we are going, to office, to market, or to a friend's place. Never ever leave your house being sure about your look, like what kind of a person you wanted to be. We should always see ourselves from our superior eyes and then dress accordingly. because our outer world, our outer look impacts a lot, affects a lot on our inner selves, like our how we feel, how we think. 1 second, please. Go, beta. Jao. 1 second, Kiran. 1 second.
Sure, Shraddha.
We should never ever think like where we are going, and we should not dress accordingly, but we should always think as per our superior eyes and then dress accordingly. It is because our outer um, looks and our outer way impacts a lot on our inner selves, and so we can make our dressing style, our clothing style as a tool. We can use our clothing style as a tool to uplift our spirit and to build our confidence instantly. Like if you will see, for sorry, I got 1 second. So I was saying, like, when we look good, we actually feel good. We start feeling good. And when we feel good, it automatically leads to us to feel important and think important about ourselves. Our appearance not only talk about ourselves, but our appearance talks to others too. You know, it is always like only in reading or in theoretical way it is pleasant to hear that people should judge others in their on their intellects, but actually practically people evaluate us on our appearance, and that makes the first impression. So we should always look the way we want others to think, how we want others to think about us. One more point I want to mention here is, when it comes to appearance, then our the quality should be is far more important than quantity. For an example, a good pair of branded shoes is far more better than 5 pairs of ordinary shoes. And to summarize my talk, I will say our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. So we should always try and look our best. It will lead us to think best and act best. Thank you, Kiran. So sorry, I also got disturbed today.
No issue, Shraddha. No issue, not at all. We really appreciate that you're still able to manage and then give your talk as well. Amazing, Shraddha. Thank you so much. And in fact, appearance is something which is really, really relative, but ultimately, whatever you wear, you need to feel very confident. It's all about you. How do you feel yourself? The moment you feel good about yourself, and that is when that self-image gets built. If you
Yes.
feel good about yourself, then you'll start speaking positively about yourself, and then the content also will be definitely important. But yeah, appearance is definitely a certain extent is important because it helps us to create that self-image in our mind.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Amazing, Shraddha. Thank you so much for sharing your talk. It was really, really, really nice.
Thank you.
Great. Awesome. So we'll move to the next speaker. Tejal, if you can speak, you can speak now. Tejal, if you can hear me. If it is possible for you, do switch on your video as well.
Hello. Hello.
हाँ तेजल,
I
आवाज
am
आ रही है?
audible?
हाँ हाँ, आ रही है.
Okay. My topic is overcoming obstacles. We all facing the problems in our day-to-day life. Rich people lost money, they take risks, make investment, and sometimes they lost. On the other side, poor people never lost money because of they have to afraid about to take risk with investing money. So they don't lose, but they don't gain either. Winners get inspired by failure to learn and do better. The poor and middle class don't win financially because the pain of losing money. Losing money is far greater than the joy of being rich. They play life too safe and too small. There are main 5 reasons why the financially literate people may still not develop asset columns that could produce larger cash flow. The reasons are fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, arrogance. And in that overcoming fear, we don't see anyone who really likes losing money in everyday life. We never meet a rich person who has never lost money. The fear of losing money is real. Everyone has it, even the rich also and the poor also. It's interesting how you handle losing, how you face the problems, how you handle failure. The primary difference between a rich person and a poor person is how they manage fear. Everyone everyone wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. Most people dream of being rich, but it's terrible of losing money, so they never get to heaven. For the most of the people, the reason they don't win financially is because of the pain of losing money. And the other second one reason is overcoming cynicism. The the sky is falling, the sky is falling. We all are familiar to the story of little chicken. There is a little chicken inside us. The cynic is a really a little chicken. We all of us have doubts like, I am not smart, I am not good enough, so and so is better than me. Our doubts are often paradises. It is the horrible feeling that builds in our mind. Sometimes we can't sleep, we fail to move forward. That's the reason we 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 not uh, there are the reasons for that. Thank you. I am first time speaking in that book club.
It was amazing, Tejal. It was really nice. I think you're very blessed because you're so young and able to read this content. And if you can really understand, and it'll be so awesome, amazing. Managing how to manage fear is a key thing for all of us. बहुत ही अच्छे से कवर किया तेजल. Thank you so much for sharing your topic. Great, awesome. So before we move ahead, I think there's a couple of new people who have joined. Hey, Santosh, have you joined for the first time or joined before as well? Santosh, if you can hear me. I think Santosh can't hear. No worries. I think anyone else is new? No. Geetika, I think Geetika have joined before. Geetika have joined before, right?
Yes, Kiran. I have joined before.
Okay, okay, awesome. Santosh, can you hear me now? Your voice is not coming. Anyway, Santosh, you can just ping me and then I can maybe invite you to introduce yourself to the team as well. Okay, great. So we'll move to the next speaker then. Giriraju, you will go next.
Yes, Kiran.
Okay, awesome. Let me just spotlight you.
Imagine you are in the Disney World. So what things come to your mind? Or when you hear companies like Apple, Alibaba, Wink, do you see something different in them? Or when Kiran or Karthik or Nikita or Sasi speaks in our book club, it feels wow because of some extra element. What is that extra element? What things come to your mind? Creativity, right? But how does creativity look like? Does it look like a duck, walk like a duck, or speak like a duck? How does it look like exactly? And even if it looks good, why should you care about it? And do I really have it inside me? How should I know it? If I have it, or some little one, how should I harness it? Those questions are answered by John C. Maxwell in his famous book, How Successful People Think, in the chapter Harness Creativity Thinking. Now, let's dive into it. How creativity looks like, or how creative people look like. So there are few things common about among creative people. They really value ideas. Because creativity is having a lot of ideas. You'll have ideas only if you value those, right? And they always explore options. They are not satisfied with one way of solution. They always find alternatives so that they can find backup plans or better plans or better way of doing things. They always embrace ambiguity. Dull man is always sure, but sure men don't feel the need to stamp out uncertainty. They like uncertainty, and sometimes they tolerate a little bit of oddness or going off beat or out of track, and they connect the unconnected, and they don't really fear the failure. So that is the biggest of the characteristics of the creative people. Now, but if creativity looks good, but why should I discover it, or why should I go for it? Is there any value? Yes, it adds a lot of value. At least it will give lot of economic advantage to you, and it compounds given enough time and focus, and it draws really great people to you and your ideas, and it helps you learn more as you see more solution than problems, and it challenges the status quo sometimes. But no, but do I have it? How should I know? Or what is the exact answer? So many people mistakenly believe that individuals who are not born with creativity, they will never be creative. But the reality is, creativity can be cultivated in the right supportive environment. It is there, just it is not nurtured. So you need to be just in the right group of people, like in our book club, or in the right great companies, okay, or under work under great people who are creative, to be more creative. It is there, but it is just dormant. And if it is dormant, how do I harness it for bettering it, right? So first is remove creativity killers. There are a lot of assumptions you make about yourself. I'm not creative, I haven't done it before, and it is my first time. Remove those expressions from your life. Second is ask the WH questions. Why, what, how. Why questions like why it is important, and what is some of the what questions, and what is the root cause of the problem, what is the metaphor or symbol to explain some idea, what is the opposite, what happens if we don't do it at all. Okay, so these are some of the questions you should ask. WH questions, remember that. And develop a creative environment, or be in a creative environment. Okay, so how a creative environment looks like, it always encourages creativity, and uh, it always let people to go outside the box, and focuses on innovation, not just invention. The difference is innovation is like better way of doing things or ideas. Invention is fully developing ideas from scratch. Okay, so it can be an innovation, not just invention. And spend time with other creative people. It is contagious. It will be like a springboard of ideas, exchanging ideas, right? So spend more time with creative people, and get out of your box by going to different places and reading different books broadly in different subjects, meeting with different people, and learning and questioning different ideas. So these are the different ways how you can develop your creativity. So remember, so I should conclude my talk by saying that dreams expand the world. Dreamers or creative people are the saviors of the world. Next time when you have a confusion, choose the one with a more creative option. Economics also will improve with it. Thank you.
Amazing, Girija. Thank you so much for sharing wonderful points. Creative thinker people value ideas, explore options, embrace ambiguity. They don't fear failure. These are my favorite 4 points, which I really enjoyed. Thank you so much for sharing, Girija. Very superb. We'll go next. Awesome. So, Saurabh, you'll go next. I'll spotlight Saurabh.
Yes, sir. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Saurabh Sharma. I'm working as a project lead in an MNC in Mohali. So today, my topic is the brief of the session that we have attended on, not on Saturday, but on Sunday. So it was a very great session, and the important takeaway from this session was that all the belief system that we have about ourselves is the ones that we have created or we have filled in ourselves. And to explain it, I'll share a short story. Couple of weeks back, it's about cricket. So we went to ground and start playing cricket. And that day, means I was very pathetic. I could not perform well. I dropped very simple catches, and I was being scolded and uh, given negative comments by teammates, and that added as a fuel. So I was misfielding. I was not batting properly. I was not fielding properly. And when I went back home, I thought about it, that what has happened to me. And I was not getting the proper answer to that. But when I get into this session, I found all my answers, that it was all happened because I believe that I am pathetic that day, and I filled myself with that belief, and that really ruined my performance, and that make our team lost 2 matches. So this belief system changed this Sunday. And yes, our past cannot be changed, and we have to learn that how we can get past that and find a new belief system for ourselves. So Vijay shared these 3 ideas about that we have to not think about that whatever has happened, it has happened, it cannot change. Okay. And people, they will try to find negative things, or we also try to find negative incidents in our day-to-day routine, because we are so much occupied with negative thoughts. uh, and he also said that we have to replace one idea with another idea, and we have to logically evaluate our belief. That was the thing. And yes, the negative feedback system that usually is there is to correct us. But what happens, we take it as a as a comment on us, and we started building our whole story around that negative feedback. It has happened to us all the time. Sometime it has happened in our schools, that someone has said that you are not good in maths, and you try to create every sort of reason that yes, I cannot do addition, I cannot do multiplication, and such sort of things, and you believe that. So that is not the cause of, or the exact reason for this negative feedback system. It is there to correct you, right? And in the last, Vijay shared 4 powerful terms. That, is there any logic behind that belief? Is there a chance that it got installed accidentally, like due to some accident or something? And third point was, if somebody with the similar belief come to you, would you believe him or her? And fourth and last is, why would we act and feel as if all the points are true without any proper justification? So we have to just logically evaluate our beliefs, and we have to make sure that the mind is ours, not anyone else's. Thank you.
Amazing, Saurav. Really like the cricket example. Anyway, connect whoever takes cricket example, I get connected very fast. So your example was so nicely, so relatable. Definitely, whatever we believe on that particular day, that also becomes true. Too good. Thank you so much, Saurabh, for sharing your points. Great. So we'll move to the next speaker then. Rohit, you'll go next.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good evening. Myself Rohit, and my topic for today is from the book "Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus." So I took 2 week gap, I think. So let me just recall. I covered first to second chapter, last to last week, I think. So I'm just resuming from there. So today I'm summarizing chapter 3. That is, men go to their cave and women talk. So let me talk about this book. So this book talks about how men thinks and how women thinks, how they are different in so many ways. So this is chapter 3, where the author talks about when a man face a problem, he go to cave. Basically, he thinks about it, and he doesn't bother about any other things. But in other contexts, women they tend to talk about the problem. So just to get relieved. So this is the problem here. This problem came. We have this kind of differences, men and women, where if I face some problem, let's say a man, I will think about it. I will just forget all the problem in my life. I'll just focus all the energy, all the my thinking to just to solve that particular problem. And if anyone comes to me, they talk, why you're not sharing, then I will be bothered. But women, they talk about all the problem randomly. So let's say if they have any problem related to their children, they talk about their job, they talk all the problems just to get relieved. This is how life on Venus looks like. So they don't do this unintentionally. They do it they don't do it intentionally. This is their behavior. This is how life on Mars Venus looks like, right? So how different people cope with stress. So let's say men focus on it, and women think that he is ignoring her, but this is not the true. He is just solving his problem. Third point is that women, how they read the cave. Like if man is going to a cave, basically he's thinking about the problem, and women think that he is ignoring her. He is not thinking about her. He's not giving him her attention, right? So in this example, like in this time, women need to understand this. He is not ignoring. If he's playing cricket, he's watching sports, he is not ignoring you. Basically he is forgetting his problem just to get relieved. And if you ask him why you're not talking about the problem, because in Mars people don't talk about the problem. If they have any problem that they cannot solve, they will go to their friend and they will secretly ask him. They will not talk to you, right? So this we need to understand. Okay, so how men and women react to talk. So women talk about problem, men usually resist. Like, see, man thinks that you are blaming him for all the problem, but women, they are not doing it. They are just relieving by talking about it. And man thinks that she is blaming him for all the problem, and he resists, right? And men assume that talking about the problem, because he's holding him responsible, the more problem, the more he feel blamed. And this basically breaks the relationship, or this create the gap. Basically, he does not realize that she's talking about it just to feel better, and man doesn't know that she will appreciate it if she just listen. So this is what men need to understand. If they just listen to her, it will help her a lot. Okay, so there is one more point. When just a second, sorry, I forgot the point. Let me recall it. Sorry. Yeah, how Martian and Venusians found peace. So Martian, basically the men, and the Venusians, the women, lived together in peace because they were able to respect their differences. If we respect our differences, then we can live peacefully. The Martian learned that respect, that Venusian need to talk to feel better. If he doesn't have much to say, he learned that listening could be very supportive. The Venusian learned to respect that Martian need to withdraw to cope with stress. The cave was no longer a great mystery or cause for the alarm. Thank you, Kiran. That's all.
Amazing, Rohit. I was observing a lot of people were smiling, and this sarcastic smile, ये वो पूरा comedy चल रहा था. मैं तो इतना मजा आ रहा था सुनने में. Very nice, Rohit. I can understand that.
Simple दो लाइन है. आदमी जब सोच रहा है उसको कुछ मत बोलो. Let him think, okay? If he really loves you, he will love you, obviously. वो ignore नहीं कर रहा है. If women is talking, she is not blaming you. She is just getting relief. That's it. That's all I want to say. This is all. So this we need to see. This book tells us we all need to know our differences, because we are different in so many ways, right? We need to live peacefully, and if we know the differences of ours, we will be happy together. That's all.
Correct, absolutely. In fact, the best people who can really utilize is Karthik Sanu only. They are attending as a couple. बाकी सब एक absent है. So the biggest boon is Karthik Sanu. नहीं तो बाकी के कभी लगता है ना कि मैं ही सब सीख के apply करूँ क्या? तुम भी कुछ सीख लो भाई. I used to have this problem. I'm learning everything. खुद भी तो कोई सीख लो. तो best है कि लेके आ जाओ.
नहीं किरण, I don't agree with you. I'm married and I would not agree with you. In fact, I prefer कि मैं खुद से अकेली से सीखूं और फिर जाके उनको बताऊं कि आज पता है रोहित ने क्या कहा। रोहित ने कहा कि सब ब्लेम आदमी का ही होता है, सब गलती उसकी होती है. So this is how I'm going to interpret the whole story. So it's good that my husband's not here.
Nice, awesome, great. Nikita is very smart. Interpreting कर दिया.
No, not smart. Like Girija said, creative. Let's make it creative, okay?
Awesome, great, awesome. Thank you so much, Rohit, for making us laugh. Great. So we'll go to the next speaker. Soumya, you are next. If you're gonna go next, I'll just spotlight you. Yep, you're on the spotlight.
I'm continuing from the previous. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
I'm continuing from the previous where I have left. I had covered two kind of excuses, that is health excuse list and intelligent excuse list. Today I'm going to give on age excuses. So again, coming to the age excuses, you can find two kind of people. One is one says who is I'm too old to take any kind of new opportunities or something, and they close many of the doors of opportunities. They do not take up things. Yeah, मेरा age हो गया है, but I'm bad in Hindi. Okay, my age is not this. It doesn't support my age. But you can in the real world you can find many examples. Like I saw one of the video in WhatsApp that 92 years Malayalam lady who wrote an exam and she cracked the exam at the age of 92. Her great granddaughter helped her clear the exam, so she was very proud, and that video was circulated everywhere in the WhatsApp. So she was very happy. So you should come out of that excuses attitude and let go your fear. Okay, then other kind of excuses which is very also dangerous is I am very young kind of attitude. The best example is I can give for myself, because I had an opportunity to take up insurance policy very much 10 years before, but now I have taken up that opportunity. So when you think that this is not my age to do something, some doors of opportunities will be closed. So this kind of attitude we can cure only when you present and share with someone else. Like this will be helped with the help of mentorship. Either I have never thought about such excuses exist until I read this book. So open your doors, and when you analyze what you are doing, and then it opens new doors opens for you. So vaccinate, how to vaccinate for these kind of excuses is always think like how much age it is left for you. Like if you are 30 years now, another 40 years is there, productive years are there for you to achieve something. So never think that you're too old or too young or something. Look at your present age as positive. I'm still young. I think I'm still young, not too old. And that's what compute the productive year next productive years. Like if you are in age of 40, another 30 years are there for productive work for you. And that's what stop thinking negatively. The secure has been. Next kind of excuses, luck. This is very bad. I mean, luck excuse. Imagine that it is very funny. Imagine that in your companies, appraisal are based on luck. Then they open lucky draw and you get your appraisals. It never goes like that, right? It is only when sorry. What's my screen? So and effect. So good luck will be there. I mean, you should always attract good luck. So the preparation, planning success will not be seen. And if you say that, sorry, I was overexcited. There are two kind of person. One is mediocre, who says that who fails to learn, and one more kind of person, successor. Successor, he is initially takes setbacks, learns, and he profits from the failure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Soumya. It was really nice because I think the best
Oh, I
part.
blabbered something else.
Not at all. Because the best part I liked about your talk was the presentation, and I think last week also you did the same thing, no, Soumya? I think all
Yeah.
presentation. So that visual effect
Yeah.
really works because that definitely communicates the message as well. Wonderfully covered, Soumya. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm actually coming out of my fear of presentations and
Definitely.
being on the screen actually.
Definitely. Awesome. Great. So we'll move to the next speaker then. Nikita, you'll go next. I'll spotlight you. Yep.
Just give me 1 sec, okay? Because there's something that's not working. I don't know why. Can I go next, please, Kiran? Sorry, I don't know what's not working, but somehow I can't just pull out my presentation.
No worries. So we'll move to the next speaker. Revati, will you go next? Spotlight you. All right.
So, good evening, all. I'm Revati, and I'm from Bangalore. So, today the topic I want to cover is whatever we think income, is it really an income, or is it generated by the assets? Okay. So, this is what I wanted to cover today. But before that, see, I just wanted to explain about myself, like how I used to think. Might be some 7 years back when I started my career. Okay, so I remember like I started somewhere around 25K per month. So that time my expenses were as per that. Then again after 3 years I switched to another company. So gradually, right, like accordingly, the preferences or the choice or the kind of brands that I want to buy, everything changes. So I increase my expenses also. So this way, I'm sure like most of us would be able to relate with me, like what I'm trying to say, right? So whenever the salary increases, definitely our choices or preferences, I mean the expenses increases. But see, that's the main difference, like how we as a middle class we think when compared to a rich people. Okay, so I'll share the screen. Kiran, can you give me the access?
You should be having the access, Revati.
Not getting the option.
Share screen if you go. Green color one.
Okay. Yeah. Money from the pocket, right? See, now let's say I'll let me just consider the home loan for now, for me to explain. Okay, so when I'm taking a home loan, let's say per month I'm paying somewhere around 50K. So might be after 30 years down the line, I might be owning that home. Okay. But see, instead of, as I said, asset is something that it has to add money into my pocket, but that doesn't happen because every month I end up paying 50K here for my home loan. And also there is something called property tax, which I'll have to bear. And also the moment I have the home, I also need to think of the maintenance also, right? So all these things, actually, if you count, right, it takes lot of money from your pocket, and might be after 30 years down the line, even if you're owning the money, probably might be I can see that the value of home might not be, I mean, it might be less than what I actually spent in 30 years. So that will be the case usually. So see, point here is I am not saying that we shouldn't go for a home loan or we shouldn't buy a home. What I'm trying to tell is, see, we need to understand whether it is an asset or liability. Okay, so if I go by this way, home is a liability only, right? So if the same thing might be, if I am investing it into, let's say, might be shares or something, which might give me per month, it gives me some dividend, right? So that way my assets increases and it keeps on adding the income. So might be over a period of time, if I'm accumulating good amount of income, using that might be I can buy a home. Correct. So see, home can be an asset or liability. It can be both, but it depends on us, like how we want to go about that. So that can be the case with anything actually. So home loan is something that I have tried explaining here.
Awesome.
So
Thank you
I
so
think
much.
that's all I wanted to cover.
Thank you so much, Revati. I think it's a very critical talk because anything you can convert it to asset provided you be creative thinking, and you can always convert your liability to into asset as long as you can think creatively and take that risk. And that is where all entrepreneurs comes into the picture. But yeah, not everyone is able to do practically, because while they do it, they lose their savings of 30 lakhs and then they realize, oh, I could have done this. And again, they have to start from scratch 5 years more to again have a saving and again start from scratch. That is a challenge with all middle class people, that the savings, what we all bring, 30 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 40 lakhs, it comes from so much of hard work of money that while you put those money only, आपके दिमाग की वजह से वो दिल की घंटी बजती रहती है, भाई कब हो? You're putting that money, but your heart, mind, your whole thing is going there, that my money is not going wasted. And that is a challenge. Once you go into the trap, I believe more than the money part, you're mentally trapped. And the moment you're mentally trapped, then you cannot be creative, because you're always working for fear. कि कब मेरा loan चुकेगा, कब मेरा loan चुकेगा, and that will spoil your self-image and all those stuff. And you'll start behaving कि you become desperate for income and all those stuff. Yeah, so that is where Vijay used to always tell you should have a reserve capital. Use a reserve capital to invest in multiple assets such that you don't have to think about it, and let this asset work for you. So amazingly covered, Revati. Thank you so much. It's a very, very important talk. Wonderful. Great. So Nikita, are you, can you present your talk or, okay, fine. I'll just spotlight you. Yeah, your spotlight.
Have I got permission to share my screen, Kiran?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, so up. No, can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
And you can see a picture, right? Because it's not blurry. Okay, because it's all funny for me. Okay, probably not. Okay, so if you can see it, great. If you can't, well, I don't know, imagine, use your creativity. I am going to talk about a question that came up in last Saturday's PIM or Sunday's PIM. Somebody right at the end asked this question, that if we shouldn't care a lot about what other people say and we should go about our business, then why is it that we do care so much about what other people say? Why can't we just move on? And here's the answer to that, okay? Somewhere something went terribly wrong. And this is the reason why we care so much what other people think and say about us. Now, as we evolved, as you can see in this picture, we've got, we moved on from being an ape, and we've got tools, then we went on to having electrical tools and superior gadgets, but our brains haven't caught up. Our brains still are the same, pretty much in a primitive state. And that's what has gone wrong. So the way we evolved is we evolved to live like this. We evolved to live in groups, and that was best suited for our survival. Because if you were not a part of a group, what would happen? You would get eaten up by a wild animal, because it's very difficult to fight a wild animal like a big bear or saber-toothed tiger by yourself. So this is why people lived in tribes or in groups, so that they could protect each other. Now imagine what would happen if you're a part of this group and you find an animal or a big bush of blueberries, and you hog most of the meat or most of the blueberries, and others are left with very little or almost none. What would they do? They would not want you to be a part of that group, and they would kick you out. If you're kicked out, or in short, rejected from that group, you are no longer a part of that group. Your survival now is endangered. And when your survival is endangered, your brain is sending you signals saying, oh my God, this is not good, this is not good. So this is why we evolved to live in groups. And this is why our brains triggered, had a reaction towards rejection, because we were meant to be a part of groups. But then we evolved, and soon this is now is our present lifestyle. Though it all looks like this, in reality, this is not what it is. In reality, this is what it is. So though we have a computer, a laptop, all our gadgets, but in reality, our brains are still in this state, in the very primitive state that goes into flight or fight. So we were meant to be in a part of group. And now when we are rejected, our brains don't feel safe. And this is what was shown in a latest fMRI scan study. It was, well, not latest, it was done in 2010. So what they showed was when a person is faced with rejection, the same part of their brain lights up as when they're faced with a physical pain. So it's the insula and the anterior cingulate cortex that lights up when you suffer physical injury, or be it a rejection. And same thing happens, your brain releases opioids, which is your natural painkiller. So when a person in this case study, in this kind of study, was told hypothetically just that, oh, we were trying to match you on a dating website with this person, but they didn't like your picture, so they've rejected you. The brain released opioids, which is a chemical as a painkiller. So if your arm was cut off or something, the same chemical would be released. So basically, what the study shows is that rejection can be painful because our brain senses it to be a threat to our survival. Now, in reality, we know it is not a threat to our survival, but nature has done that to us. Another thing then, to make matters worse, is nurture. Because of epigenetics, our parents and their parents, our grandparents, ancestors have learned that we want to be a part of group. We don't want to be rejected. We want to fit in. We are meant to fit in. So think of the praises that we get right from our early childhood. When you do something great, you win a trophy, what does your mommy say to you? Oh, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy. You've made my day today. So what does that tell us? That when we behave in a certain way, we make our caregivers happy. We need to do this to make our caregivers happy, our parents, our caregivers happy, in order to survive. So both nature and nurture have done that to us. So just bear in mind this image. Our primitive brain, together with our upbringing, so basically nature and nurture, both put together, are working against us. We have now evolved and come to a state where where we no longer have to be a part of group. We choose to, that's a different story. We don't have to be a part of group in order to survive. So if someone says, I don't like what you've done, we're not going to die, but our brain thinks we are. So that's why we take rejection so personally. Just tell yourself we're not going to die and move on, because we are using an old brain in a new world, which is quite outdated. So you have to be conscious of that, and that's about it. So that's about it. Thank you for now. Back to you, Kiran.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nikita. As usual, superbly good. I think people now realize what kind of weapons you're using. Intel Core i3 processor, Core
Yeah.
Centrino, what processing using coming out of biggest. Start using the fastest media what you have right now, and you'll be all good. But it is so true. In fact, while I was talking to Vijay used to tell, how can you make this work for you? So while you feel rejected, what is the best way you can make this work? अच्छा ठीक है यार, अगर अपना पुर्जा थोड़ा सा पुराना जमाने का है, while we evolve, why don't we use the strength part of it? And Vijay told amazingly good. He told, when you don't have a dream, for example, if you don't have a dream, the biggest drive you would get is to make your loved ones happy and make your loved ones feel so good about yourself. And you just imagine every one of you will have someone in your life whom you feel कि इसके सामने मैं कभी fail होना नहीं चाहता या होना नहीं चाहती. It could be a mom, it could be a dad, any one person in your world. For me, maybe it could be Vijay, it could be my own dad. I can do whatever failure, I can do whatever mistakes I want, but I never want to let these people down. And that will give you another reason कि whatever rejection comes, as long as this rejection doesn't come from these two set of people who know कि we are going in the right direction, बाकी सबका rejection could be added as a feedback and just flush it out and use it as a fuel. So that has really worked. I think it's an amazing, Nikita. You went so deep into it. Now people know what is up.
Yeah. Hello, Kiran. Can I add just one point here?
Sure.
Yeah. So as Nikita told about fight and flight thing. So yeah, somewhere I have read about this. So in our brain, there is a one small part which is amygdala. That is where our emotional reactions and everything, fear reactions, whenever we get anxiety and all, from that part, we will feel it is where all these emotional thing is coming on. So whenever we find that kind of situations, so it would be like just we have to face the situations, so that we have to activate our prefrontal cortex part in our brain. So that is how we have to manage the situation. So I have read somewhere in some article, like neuroscience article, for this part.
Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah. And this can be practiced, I think, if there are many meditation members, right? So for them, it would be easy, because if we do meditation, it said that that part amygdala in our brain, it would become small in size, so that we will become strong in such kind of reactions. Will not give sudden reactions in case of fight or flight situation.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much, Nikhila, for adding these points as well. Superb. So we'll go next. Uma, will you go next?
Yeah, sure, Kiran.
Awesome. Yep, your spotlight. Just who did I? Where is Uma?
Hello, everyone. So it's been a long that I had started a story about Abhinav and Shashank. So let me quickly rewind it. So we were talking about two friends, Abhinav and Shashank, who are studying together, and they want to start their entrepreneurship journey. So they are in third year, and they have already tried 9 ideas, and they have failed at all of those ideas. So now they are frustrated, and they are thinking that now we need to do something properly, otherwise we will get stuck. So now they are thinking about, let's approach doctors, let's develop something for doctors. So they thought about doing it properly. So Shashank took 10,000 rupees from his mother, and they registered their company as Practo Technologies in 2008. Then they printed some visiting cards and they started calling doctors that we have some software for you. When can we meet? So I like this guts, they don't have any software developed yet, but still they are calling doctors that we have something for you. When can we meet? And on top of that, they have arranged one seminar where, they called 25 doctors. They have presented their PPT that we have this software design, and if you are interested, you can start using it. So it is all, it takes guts that you don't have anything, but still you are giving a pitch to someone to buy it. So I like that courage, but for them it was not a pleasant experience, because pitch went very badly and everyone was saying that this is a rubbish idea and please don't waste our time again ever. So they were very upset and they were thinking that our 10th idea also failed. But at the end of seminar, one doctor, his name was something I don't remember right now, but something Dr. Ali was there, who came to them and said that your idea is very nice and let's have a talk someday. But these people have already given up that this won't work, so they were not in a mood to respond. So they ignored him, but this doctor was very interested that he called them for 6 to 7 times that let's meet. And finally they went to his clinic. So this doctor was sharing his problem that there are people who need a periodic checkups, but they forget to visit clinic. So they were, so doctor was asking that can we automate this process? So he was very interested that he immediately write them 5,000 rupees check. So these people took the check and went back home, and now they were thinking that what to do, because we have already taken advance and now we must need to develop the software. So that's how they started developing software for doctors. The story gets really interesting because there were placements, they had offer letters, they had no investment for their product, but still they continued by doing all the jugaads. So I will share the rest of the part of this story. How did they manage by doing all the jugaad in next book club? Over to you, Kiran.
Awesome. I think you are our curiosity champ. Every time, I don't know how naturally you could bring that curiosity. Some naturally people have that quality to create that curiosity so nicely. And I could see that with everyone's face. जहाँ पे वो main crux आने वाला था, आपने उसको curiosity बना के next book club के लिए भेज दिया. Amazing, amazing, Uma. Really wonderful skill you're developing here. Great. Awesome. So we'll move to the next speaker. In fact, the best part I liked, I don't know how many people could relate, when Shashank went and started cold calling. If you're in business, forget about it. No matter which personality you're a DISC, doesn't matter. If you're DISC, doesn't matter. When you're in your business, when you're an entrepreneur, you have to pick the phone and call. Get some gali in the call, just like a credit card people get gali, that you should get gali also from people. Hey, why are you calling? Why are you disturbing? Once you get gali, you will feel very uncomfortable. Once you start feeling uncomfortable, then after some point of time, you will separate your gali with yourself, because you know that person is not knowing you personally also. He's just giving gali for the pitching idea which you're doing. But yeah, that is the best approach to remove the fear. I did the same thing. Trust me, I've called 200, 300 people. I don't know how many people. And I used to get numbers from LinkedIn. So if you want to try as well, you can go to LinkedIn and go to any of the posts. A lot of people share numbers. You can go to Facebook also. You can go to groups. Just pick a number, random number, and give a call. See the magic. College में करते थे fun में, but अभी भी कर सकते हो आप. Very nice. Thank you so much, Uma. Amazing. Great. So Sashi, you'll go next.
Sure, bro.
All right. Go ahead, Sashi.
Is my voice is good, bro?
Yep, all clear.
Perfect. I just wanted to ask one question. Do you know what kind of desire is required to achieve your goals? Well, not most of us. Today, I wanted to share one beautiful story of if a person is having unlimited desire, it can lead to miracles. Let me share one good example from Luther Burbank. He is one of the famous botanists and a plant psychologist as well. One day, he seen one kind of barberry plant, which is having full of needles around the plant. I think you hear Nagafani or Brahmajamru plant most of the time. It's not the exact plant, but it's kind of its family. People say it is useless and it is not at all attractive. Now, Burbank taken this as a challenge. He experimented in many ways, and every day he talked to the plant with all good and positive words. He tried to hypnotize that plant with positivity. This process repeats for many years. Every day, just he talks all positive and good words to the plant. That's it. It becomes so hard. He's having a desire to change the plant nature, but this repetitiveness, it's make me a lot of bore. But his desire is not willing to get it down. Eventually, the plant lost his nature of all the nails. Surprisingly, he started giving flowers instead of all the nails. Then again, one more wow moment. It started offering the fruits. See this magic now. Now, this plant has transformed completely from its original nature. Previously, all the plant is having the full of the nails and everything. A lot of people said, you can't hypnotize the plant, you can't change all the nature of the plant. But his years of hard work, years of having the full of potential desire to make a plant's nature from one situation to another. For this, he awarded the Nobel Prize later point of the time. To fulfill your desire, it may take more time, more energy, and more patience, but always results are fruitful. Thank you everyone for listening to my talk.
Wonderful, wonderful, Sashi. I really enjoyed the kind of improvement you're getting, the voice and inflection and the pause at the right moments, and then the emotions which you're bringing. You're able to really paint the picture and then share your communication. Amazing, Sashi. I'm so happy that you have grown to the exponential level as quoted by Girija. But yeah, superbly amazing, Sashi. Keep growing and keep inspiring. Amazing. Great. So before I call Karthik to take the stage and start a talk, I give you all of you a chance. Think about a topic which you feel it could be helpful and write in the chat box. And whichever is the major topic needed, I'll take the topic after Karthik. Okay. So I wanted to try something new. So I thought, let me ask all of you itself. If you have any topic which you want me to share, think about 4-5 minutes while Karthik is speaking, and then post Karthik's talk, I will take the talk. All right. So Karthik, the stage is yours. I'm just spotlighting you. Awesome.
Thank you, Kiran. So hope my voice is audible. Kiran, my voice is audible, right?
Yes, yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Forgive for the environmental issues I'm facing today. There may be some lighting difference. You may not be able to see my eyes or something. So actually, mine is a very cool topic today. I think we had a very brainstorming topics, right? In continuation to Sahana's gratitude talk, I would like to take this opportunity to remind that this month we have touched the 50th week of our book club, running continuously and successfully under Kiran's hosting and mentorship. So you can definitely give a clap. We have not missed even a single book club since last March, I guess, Kiran, February, March. So we have crossed 50th book club. So it's definitely a half century, and it's not easy to run this without missing any single week. The consistency and persistency, right? This is one example which I would like to take to thank Vijay and Kiran to lead from the front and giving all of us a very good opportunity to showcase our skills, improve our skills, and whatever. We are learning so much and so many topics in this book club. So I really like to thank Kiran in this aspect. 50 weeks of continuous book club, right? We all have missed one or the other book club, right? I mean, otherwise at least we'll be passive, but the book club is running, right? The book club is running on a weekday. Just add this on a weekday, right? So yeah, we all need a party. We are going on a vacation from Bangalore shortly. Short trip we are planning. So I like to take, I'll share my screen and share some small pics that was taken initially when that was our first PIM and book club. So Kiran, I hope you are able to see the screen.
Yep.
Okay. So I think this was Sahana's first, I mean, we both like our first talk. And you know, Vijay, right? Immediately he will call some people to summarize the learnings. So I think this was first time I spoke, and next time Sahana was speaking about this. I'll just play.
What I learned from today's session is just don't sit in one place that, okay, we are fine, we are happy. So I think the biggest enemy for all of us is being good. To be the best, you need to come out and do what is necessary to grow and stretch.
So this was on topic 15 invaluable loss of growth, which Vijay was taking. So that was about one, and yeah, this was like, I think Sahana's first.
Yeah, my first book club talk.
Yeah, Sahana's first book club talk
about dreams.
Yeah, dreams. I think this is Bhushan, right? White shirt.
Yeah, I guess.
This was Kiran's home.
This is our first. I mean, first for us, and when it was offline back then, so much of fun, food. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was. Like Kiran was like a new friend to me. I was also a little. Oh yeah. Ignore this. Oh yeah, this was
Master Blaster.
Yeah, made to stick. I think which Kiran was sharing. I think this is Bharat.
I think that time we used to do both offline, online, right?
Yeah.
So we used to have people connecting from other parts of India and the world, and so people who were in Bangalore were lucky enough to go and meet and speak directly.
Yeah, I think this was just 2 kilometers from my office. I was just used to prepare in my car when in Kiran's basement before going to the book club, and I used to feel so nervous. So
I think we still feel that when we have to talk.
yeah, I think Bhushan and Bharat, they were all doing the back-end work to support this offline. I was just seeing what is happening.
I think this was the first day of my work from home after COVID was announced, and I was so happy. Oh, thankfully Thursday I can aramse attend book club and not stay in office. So
amazing.
So one more I will share. I think this was this was my first talk again on invaluable loss of growth. I think
first PIM ever.
Yeah, so seeing Vijay, I had seen so many videos on Vijay, but meeting him and seeing eye to eye just so close, it was like I can't explain those feelings. So yeah, I think this was our first pick with Kiran. I think before
PIM.
book,
No,
yeah,
after
after book club, this was first PIM workshop. I think it happened in St. Francis, I guess. Yeah, St. Francis, Kormangala. So this was our first pick. Yeah. So yeah, that is all I wanted to share. Just so it was like a continuation of Sahana's grateful talk. So yeah, I thought to take this opportunity on celebrating 50 weeks to thank and be grateful for having this. things, because like we put all these videos on all the social media, so many people are getting impacted virtually also. So yeah, that's how we are like we need to be a river, right? Not just a reservoir. So there are so many lives being impacted through us. Thank you, Kiran. Yeah.
Wonderful, Karthik. I didn't know that you were that creative, man. So I didn't even know what you're going to present. And you made the book club so special by reliving those memories. I could see Bharat smile and all. I hardly see Bharat talk, but then when he smiles and all, I feel, oh, aaj to kuch acha ho raha hai. Everything's going good. It's always good to see Bharat smile. And yeah, all of you have been really wonderful. And I think those moments are priceless, to be honest. It just feels so nice. And एक साल इतने जल्दी गुजर गया पता भी नहीं चला, and that is time which flies so fast. Amazing, Karthik. Thank you so much.
Me sitting next to him also, I didn't know the topic.
I prepared the topic just 10 minutes
10
back.
minutes back.
Means there is suspense, thrill, and everything in this presentation. There is no content, only pics, but impactful.
Very nice. Awesome.
Yeah, we'll share some more pics when we go for a trip.
I think we should take, now you have shared this idea, Karthik, we will do someday, we'll take 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes, we'll share all the old pics and all, and we'll show you that how we were before and how we are now. You could see Bharat's transformation before, man. Bharat himself will get inspired by himself only. It's too good.
But this is not fair. You are partying in Bangalore. What about other people?
I know, I'm really sorry, but yeah, we'll definitely do that as well. We'll all meet up very soon. I think that's an opportunity to travel, but yeah, just to be a little on safer side. I couldn't travel here and there, but yeah. तो we are global, right, Tuma? अब तो अहमदाबाद भी आ सकते हैं, अब तो चंडीगढ़. सौरभ, आप कहाँ पे हो? लुधियाना, चंडीगढ़ में?
अंबाला.
अंबाला में जा सकते हैं. तो कितनी सारी जगह है. प्रकाश पुणे में है, पुणे में जा सकते हैं. शशि तो आंध्रा में है. So it is good that once people are here.
आप एक ट्रिप ऐसा ही प्लान कर लो जो पूरे इंडिया में हो. मतलब 1 by 1 प्लेसेस जाते जाओ, सब जगह पे मिल लो लोगों को.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. Wonderful. Good. Awesome. So I think we are almost on end. So I asked few questions. So I'll again ask one more question. If you have any question which you feel you want me to share on that particular topic, you can ask. I think I've seen Mohini asked about how to be consistent and self-discipline, how to know about yourself and overcome criticism, and a secret tip. Here's my topic. Acha. Gitika, you wanted to speak or what? I didn't understand that.
Yeah, Kiran. Like if there is a time.
Okay. So Gitika, is it all right if we can take it next week, or if it is fine, if you want to ramp it up today itself for 2-3 minutes, we still have people, but yeah, if as long as people are fine, then we can take it.
Like if it is fine today, like it's okay, or else we can go for next week. Like it's actually the topic which I have prepared right now.
All right. So then let's do one thing. Let's take it next week so that at least you'll have enough time so that we don't be in a hurry, and you can also take. Okay, you just ping me next week. I'll take you first. Okay.
Yeah, sure, Kiran.
Thank you so much, Gitika. Great. So how to be consistent and self-disciplined, how to manage job, passion, and responsibilities in parallel, time budgeting, money budgeting. Okay. Anything else? How to become self-driven person. All right. Nice. Which question shall I take? Although all are a little interconnected. But yeah. Quick, you can unmute, okay? It's not that one way I should speak. I want it to be interactive. I want your interaction. That is when it will be a lot of learnings. So which question shall we take today? You can also add, okay? It's not that I'm going to share my experience, but you all can add to that question. Self-driven. अच्छा जल्दी बताओ यार. कौन सा question? 4 तो देख लिया मैंने.
Self-driven.
Self-driven, okay. Nikhila self-driven. Okay, Soumya bhi self-driven.
So Kiran, I can add a few points for self-driven. So generally, we always have a goal or plan, but we don't follow through it, knowingly or unknowingly, right? So somewhere on the line, we go off track, right? So to just to be on track of your plan, or for at least in a short-term plan, just measure your progress daily by maybe in a spreadsheet how much hour you are putting for your plan. So there might be three goals for this year. Maybe for 2021 there are three major goals you want to achieve, right? Just write those three goals on in a spreadsheet and put it daily how much hours or minutes at least you are spending on those goals. Like I myself do a burn down chart, like, okay, so that, so for if I have three goals and I want to spend 30 minutes each, right? So 1.5 hours I should burn down every day. Like for example, for gymming, if I have or I need to do some running every day for 30 minutes. So at the end of day, I ensure that I put in 30 minutes of effort against that goal, and the rest all the goals or xyz number of goals that I have. In that way, I measure by every month, and I measure, okay, so for the 15 hours I have planned for my three goals, how much I have burned down? 10. So I have almost achieved 66% of my monthly goal from my yearly goal, right? So next month I plan to see, oh, okay, how, why it is not more than 80%, and where I lost my concentration. So that when you, crux of the story is measure or efforts against your plan, then only you can improve. So that will be one of the ways.
Wonderful. Amazing. In fact, I got to learn something new. Wonderful. Great. Anyone else want to add on top of it? Because this question is very important and this will solve almost all of this question. How to be self-driven. Anyone else want to add anything? No one? I hope you're self-driven. I'm assuming that you all are self-driven. All right.
I wanted to add one point, Kiran, like self-driven is, I mean, it may be easy to tell, but yeah, it depends on how easy for you to implement personally, because I actually, last time also I told this statement, which I came across like almost 8-9 years back. If your why is big enough, the how will take care of itself. If your why is big enough, the how will take care of itself. So that I mean, why you are doing what you are doing really matters. The dream or a goal, whatever you have, or what you don't want also. If you're not clear on what you want, you can also think of what you don't want, and that will really, I mean, you have to keep thinking about it. Ups and downs will definitely come, but yeah, there is no lift to upstairs, right? So you have to take the stairs. I mean, in our apartment there is, but not towards your goals. So that why is it has to be really strong, and you have to mentally fix that there will be uphills when you climb any mount hill, or any, you go for trekking, right? It will be like this, right? But it will not be like a straight thing. So we have to be mentally prepared that there will be this, but still it will slowly go up also. So when you are in the down, that is where we usually lose the, like that is where the actually question comes, how can we be self-driven? So yeah, that why has to be really strong, big enough. And definitely, as I think Kiran also was sharing in one of his talks, the pain has to, if you have the pain, then only you will need a coach or a mentor. That is also needed. So it all goes hand in hand.
Amazing. Thank you, Karthik. It is a really important point Karthik added. Samiksha raised her hand. Samiksha, you want to add anything?
Yes, Kiran, I consider myself as self-driven. So the three components actually are that decision-making skill and the analytical skill, and third is the priority setting skills. So align these three components, it make me self-driven because I can take my decisions. So I can decide what is good or what is right and what is required at the point of time. So this is how I plan my things, and the things go in a direction which is aligned to my goals. So yeah, these components I consider which is important to be self-driven.
Amazing. Awesome. Awesome, Samiksha. Thank you for adding the point. So, Nikhila, Soumya, did you get your answer or you had some more doubts?
Yeah, we got the answers, Kiran.
All right. Awesome. Great. I think I'll just end with a short story. So there was my friend of mine. She was a passer from IIT Madras, and she used to work with ICICI Bank, okay, as some manager position. And after COVID, while in that COVID time, she wanted to change her job and she wanted to go to some product-based company, wanted to become a product manager. All right. Now, she thought she was confident. She thought that she was pretty clear and she was skilled enough to clear any interview. So what she did, she started applying for interviews. One interview she applied, failed. Okay, all right. She told her, oh, it's all right. I'm successful. I'm skilled. She started giving self-talk, and everything is fine. Everything is all right. All right. Then after one week, again one interview went, and that also she could not clear. Then this time also she was fine कि she knew कि अच्छा मैं तो job के साथ कर रही हूँ, preparation थोड़ा सा और preparation करना पड़ेगा, I have to prepare more, so definitely I would need more time. So again she encouraged herself and moved on. Then again after first I think 1 week or 2 weeks, again she applied for another interview, again got rejected. Now this time her belief system started having debates. So internal talk started having debates. Matlab, she was telling herself कि I'm successful, I'm good, everything, but the belief system was talking. Are you sure? मतलब really मतलब थोड़ा सा debate आने लग गया, doubt आने लग गया. But she ignored it. Yeah? Why do you put focus on something which is negative, right? You move on. So again, she went on. Again, after 2 weeks, again she got an interview. This time she got interview in Paytm. It was a very wonderful company to work with. And this time again she got missed out. I think last round or second last round. And this created a minute frustration. Got started getting involved. थोड़ा सा वो खाना बनने की तरह ये बनना start हो गया. And the moment this started happening, her internal belief system started shaking, and her initial drive for which she started preparing for interview was little dilute, and the frustrations were overtaking. But she knew कि no, this is just a phase of time, and she started telling कि why it is happening to me. मेरे साथ क्यों हो रहा है यार, मैं तो I'm perfectly fine. What is wrong in me? Because now she started questioning herself कि is there something wrong in me that is the reason I'm getting rejected? And it came automatically while the debate is happening in her mind. All right, happened. This moved on. Again, she applied for an interview. Now this time she got an interview call from I think PhonePe. Now this also is a very good company, and she again applied. And this last round mein is interview told something to her ki I think he rejected, telling I think you're not fit for it. I think you should not do this. Do whatever you're currently doing. I think you should drop applying for product manager. This was hurtful. And एक तो ego hurt होता है. दूसरी बात, you start doubting yourself. Yeah, the person who's telling is successful. ऐसा नहीं कि बंदा successful नहीं है. The interview was successful. Now the doubt started creeping. यहाँ पे there's a twist and turn. She could either quit everything and just stayed in ICICI Bank, but then slowly her desire to get through interview was higher, and that is when she started communicating with me. Luckily, she was sharing this story with me. I knew the pain what she was going through for 8 to 9 months continuously. That is the reason I could feel her pain. And every time I could hear her emotions, her thought process was so much that her tears are getting burned in the burning desire. That she told. मतलब उसका इमोशन इतना खतरनाक हो गया था. आप सोचो कि आप रो रहे हो और आपका जो आपका टीयर्स आ रहा है वो भी आपके डिजायर के साथ पूरा जल जा रहा है. मतलब are you having that burning desire where your tears are getting burnt? It does not have to happen reality, but it is. She was feeling so और नहीं हो सकता. कैसे नहीं होगा, मैं तो करके रहूंगी, कुछ भी हो जाए. She was going all out. All out means all out. And that is when her next level of thought process came. I told her, I think you're going the right direction. Just keep on going. I think you'll clear it out. And eventually, I think 10 months, just 2021 May, on March, I think Feb May, she cleared an interview which she always wanted, and she cleared it in wonderful colors. And then she was like crying and sharing the story with me. Kiran, you won't believe, I was watching your video. उसमें आपने बताया था burning desire. मुझे तो लग रहा था मैं ही burn हो रही थी. I was just burning in my desire. I'm crying. I don't know how much I've cried. इतना मैं रो रही थी कि मेरा tear ही burn हो जा रहा है उसके साथ साथ. This is self-driven. If you ever felt something like this before in your reasons, or if you have not, start finding a reason or find a cause which will help you to trigger these emotions. So this will help you to be self-driven. But yeah, this is where I also resonate with her. That is the reason I shared this story. But nothing is permanent. All willpower, all self-driven will fade away if you're not connected with a transformer. Because if you're with a transformer, while you're not self-driven also, you always get a push. Ki chalo aage badhna hai. So the consciously what you can do is always connect with the positive side. I personally listen to a podcast every single day. At least one podcast I listen. And while I listen to podcast, I put some effort for my aspirations and goals every single day, at least half an hour. Kuch bhi agar gadbadi ho, I put half an hour to just protect my self-image. And I know if I don't put it, I feel guilty out of it. So how do you do it? It's definitely, it'll be different for different people. But for me, putting some amount of action towards my goals gives me drive every single day. So I hope this answered your question. So one is the self-driven is a burning desire. How the desire is burning is your tears is getting burned out of your desire. अगर नहीं हो रहा तो desire है ही नहीं, बता रहा हूँ मैं तुमको. अगर आपको वो feeling नहीं आ रही, आप रो रहे हो उसके लिए, मतलब छुप छुप के रो रहे हो, आप अकेले में जा रहे हो and you're crying for it and you know it feels अलग ही feel हो रहा है, बार बार रो रहे हो, ऐसा नहीं कि आप रात को रो रहे हो, crying for it and you really want to go. वहां से आपका सर्वो मैकेनिज्म स्टार्ट हो जाता है. सर्वो मैकेनिज्म then understand, oh, this is real. ये बंदा serious है. तब आपका actually you build your muscles of self-driven. So that's about it. But yeah, that is not the permanent solution. But a solution would be always consciously to keep yourself in positive atmosphere, which will always build your muscles. So I hope it helped. And thank you so much for asking this question, Swami. I think this is a very important question. So, all right. So we are end of this book club. So Karthik, before we go for the end portion, if you want to ask any question, we'll quickly take the photo and be done with the session. All right. So request all of you to switch on the video. Yeah, nice.